Yo, you guys hear? Can anybody hear me? See me? Somebody let me know. Give me a wind up for live, please. All right, one. I'm at the Greensboro Police Department. I went to the door on this side, which is I think the west side of the building, and there's a loud like heat pump there, so it's really hard to hear my phone and things. And the door was locked, and I started walking away, and then some guy came and was like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hi," and he's like, "What are you trying to find?" I was like, "The police department." He's like, "Oh, you're here." I'm like, "Just come this way." So he took me back to that door I was at, and then he asked what I wanted, and I was there following up on complaints and some record stuff, and he's like, "Okay, well, what's your name?" I'm like, "Well, what's your name?" And he's like, so he said his name was Sergeant Krasinski at the Greensboro Police Department, and then he's like, "Well, if you can't give me your name, I can't follow up on anything." I'm like, "Well, that's not true. Stuff was submitted without a name, so you can absolutely follow up on it. When the date it was submitted and the phone number and email address that was given. Yeah, you don't need a first or last name for that." And he's like, "Okay, well, I'll go check on it." And he walks in, and I go behind him, and he's like, "You can't come in." I'm like, and like closes the door on me. I'm like, "Oh, is it the police department open or not?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's limited." I'm like, "Okay." So, and they said, "Hang out right there, I'll be right back." And felt like a trap. One, I'm in a place where I can barely hear because of the loud heat pump back there. So I'm gonna go around to this side and find out if the door is locked on this side. Okay, this one's not opening. This one's a little more public too, and back there I can hear better. Hopefully people can see if they want to try to do some harm to me. You guys see a call button anywhere? I'm back up. You see a call button anywhere? No call button. Okay. Hello. It's fine. Way on the right? Okay, we're here. Hello. Is there a bell? Yeah, where is that?
I'll let you know here.
Okay. Where's the bell?
Right, it's, put your finger right here, right here, right here. Follow out my arm. Right here. Up. Right here, right here.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, can I help you?
Yeah, I'm here following up on some complaints that we submitted months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're calling us on.
On complaints?
Okay. Tell us exactly close to the public unless you need like a report.
What was that?
Do you have the number for internal affairs?
No.
Hold on just a minute. Let me see who I can get to help you. Hold on just a
Okay.
minute.
All right, so we're at the police department in Greensboro, North Carolina. There's been a few protests and I think a little bit of rioting in Greensboro, and then the new police chief came out and had a press conference after that and said, big lofty words like, "Oh, we're dedicated to transparency here, the Greensboro Police Department," and we've had records requests in for months that have gone unanswered. Some unanswered, some denied for erroneous reasons, like citing something that has nothing to do with what the record is or pertains to. And so we're trying to get follow-ups on those to find out why they're denying access to public records, things that are supposed to be open to the public. But the police chief wants to go on mainstream fake stream media and say, "Hey, we're transparent. We have transparency here." So maybe we'll find out if somebody wants to come talk about why they're hiding the records from the public and follow up on the complaints. I think last time we were here is with a group of other activists that came from different parts of the country to try to hold these people accountable. And we put in a complaint that day. That was a couple months back. Oh yeah, we know there's not transparency, but they want to say there is. So let's see if we can hold them to their word. But we also have just down the road here to my left. Yeah. North of me is the City Hall, City Greensboro, and then beyond that you have the county courthouse, Guilford County Courthouse, where they've repeatedly denied equal access to the disabled, and there's some other county buildings, and then beyond that there's a federal courthouse. The jail is kind of catty corner block, north and west a bit. So this is the belly of the beast in Greensboro. Sheriff's Department is like a block west of me. But it's their administrative offices, and they're closed to the public normally. So they don't. Sheriff's Department in Guilford County is not about transparency or openness, because you can't just walk in and talk to administration about issues. You have to call in and schedule an appointment, get vetted before you can have access to an elected official. Hey, $5, thanks. Hello. Okay, you guys. So. Hey, Noe, at the Greensboro Police Department trying to follow up on complaints and some records requests. Greensboro, North Carolina. The Batman suit. Thanks. I think there's somebody over here. Hi.
I'm sorry, my intercom wasn't working. I couldn't get back to you.
Yeah.
I wanted to let you know to come on in and you can have a seat. I spoke to someone in internal affairs and they said they would send someone down to speak with you.
Okay, cool. Do you know if the chief's available today?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But I can see what I can do for you.
Yeah, I just want to follow up on some stuff. He made some comments to the news about being transparent and wants a new era of transparency in the Greensboro Police Department. So
Right.
just want to follow up on that, see if he's interested in walking that out. So.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to.
Sir, I did call up at the chief's office.
Yeah.
And I only got the answering machine
Okay. Thanks.
at the moment.
Front Windsor, North Carolina. Here, I think it's a water fountain over this way. Yeah. Everything cut on. All right. So we can fill it up. Fill my bottle. Got my bottle this time. What's not mine? This is Justice bottle, but. Ah, good one. Yeah, that's a good number. Once I'm done taking a little shower here, and this water valve done. Make a big old watering mess. Close enough. You guys can probably find the case number pretty easy though. A simple Google search, I suspect. That I'll ask. Excuse me.
Yes,
Can I get just the number for the chief? Do you have a number that specifically goes to the chief?
I do. I have a number that goes to the chief's office.
Is that one?
It may be his secretary.
Okay. Yeah. Can you give me that number?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
It's 336. 373. 2085.
336-373-2085.
Correct.
All right, cool. Thanks. That's it. Good boo. All right. Elevator ding. Janitor staff. You can hear that heat pump, that door opens. Loud back there. High school French.
Mr. Miller. Are you Mr. Michael Nelson? You want to speak to somebody from Internal Affairs?
Are you talking to me?
Are you Mr. Michael Nelson?
Oh, I didn't give a name.
Okay. Who are you?
Yeah. I'm a concerned person in the public. I've got some complaints that we put in a few months ago,
Right.
and just following up on this.
Okay, did you not receive the letter with the outcome of the complaint?
What letter?
A letter was sent to Mr. Michael Nelson in reference to a complaint filed with Greensboro.
Oh, really? Where'd you get a name? Or
Public information is not on YouTube, right?
plug it? Yeah, my name's not posted to YouTube.
I'm sorry, it's not supposed to be what?
So my name isn't posted with YouTube.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what are your questions?
Well, that's a concern right there. Like you assigned a name that I didn't give to a public record. So you created a public record, adding a name that I didn't give you.
Okay, what can I do for you today?
Well, that's an issue. That's a professional standards issue. So I want to address that right now. Like, where did you guys get that name?
What is your concern today?
That is a concern that you're getting people's names, or what you believe to be people's names, and assigning it to complaints when somebody did a complaint anonymously. Okay. Is it policy that people can do complaints anonymously?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So who added the name to the complaint or the response?
Who added the name?
Yes. Mhm.
The name, I'm not asking about you.
Okay, so let's do a complaint for that. Can you have a complaint form so we do a complaint for that, please? Okay, great. Hey, how are you? Been better. Are you with the guy that just came down? Okay, so you're in the professional standards division too? What's your name? Priest? Okay. So do you know who added a name to the complaint that was supposed to be anonymous? You don't know? You know who was assigned to that complaint? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was assigned to it. Okay, so probably he did it then. All right. What's his name? Bateman. Okay. And you guys are supposed to be the ones to make sure that people are following the policy in the police department, right? Right. So you investigate if there's a concern that somebody in the police department isn't following. Right. So either breaking the law or policy or something like that. Okay. And it sounds like that he broke the policy on having anonymous complaints by adding a name. Does it not? Well, he just confirmed that you can do it anonymously. Right. Yeah. So then for somebody from your staff to not honor that and add a name to it is violating the anonymity of the person making the complaint, correct? I mean, this is your job. You don't, that's pretty simple, deductive reasoning. Right, I'm asking you. In your opinion, as a professional standards personnel, wouldn't that be a violation of policy? If that's the facts? Investigate. What's there to investigate? The policy is you can do things anonymously, and for somebody from the precinct or department to add a name, therefore getting rid of the anonymity of the person making the complaint, that's a violation of the policy, correct? What's to investigate? Maybe who did it? You said that he was assigned to it. I think you figured that out already. Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious to the people what's going on, and you guys are trying to cover up for each other rather than holding each other accountable, right? And that's supposed to be your whole job. The people are calling you guys out on your bullshit. We're tired of it. I don't know if you noticed. Okay. So are you that guy's supervisor? Bateman? No? Is he your supervisor? So you guys are like peers? Okay. So is there a lieutenant in your division, your department? Okay. Maybe we should get to him because I think there's a conflict of interest if he's the one that violated policy.
Well, what's going to happen, I'll tell you what happened. He would write down your concern, and he would give it to the lieutenant to assign it to be investigated.
Right. So if I'm complaining about you, is it a professional standard for you to receive the complaint?
You're not complaining about me.
Right. I'm going to be complaining about him, right?
But you want me to be the one to write it down?
I would like if you guys are peers, I'd like somebody that is a supervisorial role over you guys. Okay. Because this is kind of.
We'll see if he's available. That's what you want me to do.
Yeah, this is kind of
Otherwise,
insane.
You may have to call and talk to him.
You see how that's not, you see how that's hokey?
I understand what you're saying. I'm
Yeah.
asking you, you want me to go see if he's available now?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys need some supervision.
I'll check on that.
All right. Oh, he's going to come back with the complaint form. Yeah. So here to follow up on complaints that we submitted anonymously months ago, you can check the video on the channel. You can check it on Accountability for All's channel, Extra Good Citizens channel. Who else is here? Jeff was here, Audits, Patrick was here. There's a whole handful of people that were here. And when we submitted that complaint, And we did it without offering a name. We gave an email address and a phone number for contacting to follow up on the results of the complaint. And we didn't receive an email or phone call that I can remember. There might be one. I don't have to go back and find if there is one or not. So I have to go check. But this guy comes out with a name that we didn't provide, and saying that they mailed a response to somebody with a name that they added to an anonymous complaint. And so I asked, this is the professional standards. These are the guys that are supposed to investigate the corruption in the police department. And the people in the police department that are not following policy, they're breaking law, and the laws are policy, and that's why they're police officer. It comes from the same word, policy. So they're not actually laws. And they're violating their own policies. You can do complaints and records requests anonymously, and they violated that anonymity by adding a name. He said he got from YouTube. Like, that's a reliable source to add a name if you were going to do it in a professional manner anyway. His source for his information was YouTube. And yeah, and then he mailed it. So we're going to have to ask him how he mailed it. Email or to physical address or what, and then figure out what email address or what physical address he put. And then the guy that was responsible for the case was likely the guy that added a name to the anonymous complaint. Said he's going to go get a complaint form and come back with a complaint form to receive a complaint on himself. Is that accountability, that he fills out his own complaint form on himself? It's really funny. Like, they shoot themselves in the foot all the time. They can't help it but break their own codes, break their own laws and their own policies because they don't know it. They don't study the law. They're not concerned. Not even studying the law. They're not even concerned with freedoms, upholding the freedoms in the Constitution, the things they swore to uphold. Right? They're not concerned with what's moral, what's just, what's right. Right? It's just following orders. Somebody said, "Oh, we need to make an example. Let's put a name on this. Let's target this guy."
Okay, that's fine. I'm just checking because they were supposed to let me know when they did, and they have. Okay, so maybe there could be something improved, but I guess before I contacted them, I didn't want to call them and say, well, listen, that's it. Thank you very much.
Audio's not good, guys. I can change something up. Just let me know. SFT. Hey, Fort York Farmer, what's up? Hey, Chad. Hey, Joe. Right? Yeah, it didn't take long. Like, I didn't, see, this is the thing. I don't come with expectations, you know. I prepare for the worst, but I hope for the best, and I just kind of leave the expectations at the door. I'm like, all right, I'll prep alive in case things feel off and squirrely, and you know, what happened at the back door felt squirrely. I couldn't hear because of the heat pump back there. So I came around to the front. I knew it's more exposed, and we can hear better. And yeah, I was hoping this would be a quick checkup, like, hey man, what's the status of the stuff? They tell me the status of it, whether they resolved it or not, like it's ongoing, whatever. Okay, you know you can reach me email or phone, and then thanks, bye. And maybe get a comment from the chief or somebody from the higher ups on their transparency stuff, and then records. And then that was it. 10, 15 minutes max. That's what I was thinking. Would be if they were open, transparent. You know, but again, I don't assume that they would be. So comes down and says, "Hey, we violated our own policy. I'm the guy in the building that's supposed to be making sure people are following the policy, and I violated the policy." Oh, great. So do we have somebody else that's more honorable that we can speak to about complaints? Which means we'll probably be waiting here a while. It is a full-time job trying to hold this systemic corruption accountable. It's like it's kind of redundant to say the system is corrupt. Like it's it's set out purpose. So its whole purpose is to control. Don't do it. Stand up for freedom. So these two are wanting to join the police academy.
you want to speak to me?
Yeah, somebody from Special Standards that's above the guys that came down. Was it,
That's me.
okay, Bateman and Priest, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I was just following up on a complaint submitted. I think it's just shut this thing out. It's taking my brain power away. All right. Yeah, I was following up complaints we did a few months ago.
Yes, sir.
And I think Mr. Bateman came out, and he offered a name that we didn't present to him. So we submitted those complaints anonymously. Now, is it your guys' policy that the public can submit complaints anonymously?
Yes.
Okay. So can we find out who added a name to that complaint process, because that person violated policy clearly?
It is certainly something I'll look into for you.
Okay. Do you typically have more than one person assigned to a complaint like this?
This is one person assigned to it. It's Bateman did
Okay.
the investigation.
Okay, so if there's a name on it, then it's most likely Bateman attached the name to it.
I'd have to look at it. To be honest with you, I just transferred in. I have not seen the administrative investigation. All I've seen today is this memo with your name on it that was addressed to you to be sent.
Well, I haven't claimed any names, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna look into it. I don't have an answer for you as to how it was attached.
I'm not saying that is or is not my name, right? So this.
And I'm not asking you if it is or not.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
but I will certainly find somebody to look into the fact that he put your name on it.
Right.
That's what you're asking me to do.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the reason I'm here is to follow up on that complaint and find out the status. And initially came out with a name, like, whoa, where'd you get that name? Like, that's a big red flag. Like, we submitted this anonymously.
Do you want this letter that he came out, or do you want us to put a different name on? How do you want this?
Well, I'd like you to honor your guys' policy and have it anonymous. I mean, you've already generated the record.
Can we send it to this address? I mean,
what address?
the one that's on this with the name.
Is it a mailing?
Yeah, mailing. How do you want us to
hold
address
on. Is it a physical address or an email address?
Do you have an email address?
I presented an email address and a phone number. I'll give you a card, like I gave when we submitted the complaint.
Okay.
Yeah. But what do you have?
How do you?
I think that's it, right? What do you guys have? Do you have an email address on there, or is it a physical
address?
So you have a physical address. Not only do you have a name, but a physical address.
Yes, sir.
You see, this is a problem. Like, he's created a public record. He added
I get what you're saying. Like I said, we're going to look at. I will have somebody investigate the fact that your name is on.
Yeah.
This.
So this is clear retaliation, right?
I don't know if it's retaliation. I mean, he's just.
It's pretty obvious.
The letter is just explaining to you the outcome of the investigation, and nothing that has a name on it or an address on it is public record. I mean, it is all.
That's not true.
No, none of our stuff is public record.
No, you absolutely can get it. You may have to go through the court to get it, but that's public record.
No, this is a complaint investigation. You can't get this.
I'll challenge you on that, but I'm not here to debate that.
I understand. So
I understand North Carolina's record law pretty good, and you guys have lots of things to protect, police records and personnel records and things like that,
yes,
and body cam and all that stuff.
Okay. So your complaint is that your name ended up in.
Name and physical address.
Okay.
That's not necessarily mine, but
I understand.
He's attached a name and a physical address.
What is the name that you would like us to use?
You can use Blind Justice, it's fine. Like, we're a news agency, we cover, civil rights.
What is the email address?
insightisfree@gmail.com.
Okay. When we finish this investigation, how would you like to receive the
email?
Okay.
Email is perfect, yeah, just like I told this last guy. And I was anticipating an email, I don't think we've got one. It may have come in, it may have gone to spam, so I don't know.
Do you want the initial one? Obviously, I know you don't want to take this one with you.
Yeah.
Just email you this one.
Yeah, email me. Is it resolved? Like, or I mean, if you just want to tell me the results of it, like if it's ongoing or what, like.
It says determined there was sufficient evidence to substantiate your complaint.
Okay, and so what then? What action did you guys take to correct the?
It's not on here to be
Okay,
honest with you.
could you follow up with that? Because that's what we're doing. Like, not just, hey, yeah, you guys called us on something we did wrong. Thanks. Like, did you guys do anything to fix it? Is there a policy change? Did you, is there personnel change? Like, what are you guys doing to better the police department so it doesn't happen in the future? Yeah. Otherwise, why are we doing complaints if it's, what I mean? We don't know we're making any results.
What did you say? Insight is free at what?
At gmail.com. Yeah, it should be on the card.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your name again was
Lieutenant Tabler.
Tabler?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
you.
you.
And public records. You know who I talked to you about that? Like, we have records requests that are still outstanding with you guys. It's been months in the making.
One of our city attorneys. You have to call them.
I know Kurt forget his last name. Kurt. He's like buried in the public library.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Like
Something Fetterman or something.
Brennerman or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
All right.
Do you know if that's open? If the public libraries are open?
That I don't know.
All right. I'm heading over to the city side and I'll ask them if they're open today.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, man. You too. Thank you, guys. I'll check it too. Thanks. Have you had any luck with Chief?
Oh, I haven't tried it yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll try.
Oh, yeah, just wait I'll wait a minute for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I did speak with the secretary,
Yeah.
and she told me that he is not in today,
Okay.
and that, she'd be glad to set up an appointment with you.
Okay, cool. Can I give you a card for their call or email?
Can you, would it be easier if you would call her and?
Oh, yeah, I can call that number you gave me.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
cool.
I just thought that may be easier if you
Sure.
had
Sounds good.
one-on-one contact, and
Yeah.
that way she could set that up.
Not
for
literally
you.
playing the telephone game.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Thanks.
That's how it is around here.
Yeah. All right, appreciate it.
All right. You take care.
All right, bye. Okay, there you go. So you have the Bateman, quote unquote sergeant, at the police department here in Greensboro, from the Professional Standards Division. This is their internal investigation department, guys. Like this is this guy comes out to give me an update on a complaint we submitted months ago, and he admits to adding a name to an anonymous complaint, and it turns out he added a physical address to an anonymous complaint. Tell me that's not retaliatory. Like, how can you tell me that? Honestly. Like, we're complaining about officers' misconduct, and you're anonymously, and you're going to violate your policy to create a public record to put a name and an address on an anonymous complaint because it's a complaint on your officers, on your buddies. Like, and then his buddy, Priest, there, quote unquote sergeant, for the same division, like, we're just backing him up. He wouldn't admit. He's like, I know I'm being recorded. I'm not going to admit that my guy messed up, even though it's pretty clear and obvious. I have to do an investigation. Like, wait, who's assigned to the case? Well, my Bateman's assigned to the case. Okay, so then who else would add a name to the case? I have to do an investigation, right? Because somebody else is going to hack your system to add a name to a complaint form, rather than just the obvious answer of being Bateman. And then we get to the lieutenant thing. Oh, we only have one guy assigned to it, and it's Bateman. Like, okay, what is there to investigate? Clearly, he's the guy who violated policy, right? And it's retaliatory. It's like, what are you going to do about it? And, like, do we have results from the other ones? Like, yeah, we found that your complaint is founded. Like, we substantiated your complaint. Like, you guys, good job. You caught us doing stuff that was a no-no. Okay, so what's the results? That's not what action did the department take? Right? And they're going to be like, well, that's confidential. It's personnel records. We can't tell you what action we took. Like, okay, you can't tell me if you guys changed policy, if you had a briefing, if you had training, right? Nothing. Like, well, for transparency, right? It's just insane. So, he did say he'll follow up, though. The guy that came out and said he was lieutenant. I know he said his name twice, but I forgot. He did say he'll follow up. So, that's positive. And he even asked what format, and like, here, email address. I give you a card, just like I gave the other guys. Like, every time I've gone to that place, I think I've given somebody a card. Here's a card with a email address and a phone number. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. All right, so I'll head this way. You guys want to hang out? Because I'm in a different spot. I don't know. Can I hang out, or you want me to get something else to do? probably suggesting bomber. Yeah, right. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you? Yeah, Fort Deer Farmer. They say that every time, and they try like retaliatory tactics, like thinking it's gonna run us off. Hi. How are you? Alamance County. All right. Hi. This is the county kangaroo courthouse here in Guilford County. Yeah, exactly. Another day, another runaround. How's it going? Kind of crap's going on over here? So what kind of corruption's going on over here?
Not much.
Bunch of crooks inside taking people's money? Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. I give you guys a card. I run a YouTube channel. Try to cover the corruption locally and try to call it, in for it and everything. Stop the abuse. I was just at the police department. and yeah, they're just crazy, man. They don't want to be held accountable. All right, peace to you guys. Oh, I gave him a card. Excuse me? Hi. What's going on here? What's this?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, who are you? Do you work here?
Yes.
You okay? Yeah. Can I get your name, please? Hi. Yeah, is there a meeting going on right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is it? School board? All right, it's not an open meeting? Okay. So school boards have secret meetings, not public meetings. Closed session. All right. Do you have anything that says that? Like anything from the county? Robin Keller? Oh, cool. I was going to go talk to her anyway. Who are you? What is it?
Chief Foreman.
Chief Foreman? Okay. Do you know who the other guy was that closed the door on me? Do you know who the guy who closed the door on me was?
He's right behind you.
What is it? T. Hager? Okay. What's your position here? Security. Okay. All right. So the Guilford County School Board is having secret meetings in the county building. Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna go talk to Miss Keller. Oh, I can't find anything. Yeah. Yeah.
Is someone else you want to speak to, sir?
Yeah, anybody in the office is there. Yeah.
They're all going to come to me. And most of them are in the meeting. The only one upstairs, who's up there with you now? Would you like to speak to Clarence?
Sure.
Clarence, could you have Clarence come downstairs? Do you have an appointment, sir, with anybody?
No, I called last couple of days talking about a records request. They're aware of it. Yeah.
You need to speak to Robin. Robin's over at the BB&T. Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right. Mr. Clarence will write down to you.
Great, thanks.
You want to have or you staying?
Honestly, he's coming back down this way, right?
He comes down the elevator.
Oh, okay.
No, there he is.
Thanks, appreciate it. Hi. All right, how are you? I'm trying to follow up on some public records I've submitted through the county, and it's been a few months since I've heard anything from you guys.
What's your name?
I give you guys a contact card. Everything is through Gmail or phone.
When you find out, we'll be in contact with you sometime this afternoon.
Okay, yeah, because I've called last 2 days and I've heard the same thing on the phone. People said, I'm going to find out and call you back, and I haven't heard that.
I'll find out, make sure.
Okay.
Email you this stuff.
Now, the board meeting that's going on right here, the public school board, is, you don't know anything about that? You know who would know about that?
No, they are probably right now.
Okay, because that's supposed to be a public meeting open to the public, and so we got.
It's not a public meeting, that's
Okay. Do you know why? Who would be in charge of that so I can talk to that? Okay.
public meeting, the regular board and county commission
Mhm.
meeting is tomorrow, the public hearing is tomorrow.
Mhm.
There's no meeting today.
You guys are having that here upstairs in the big room?
Yes.
Okay. But any time that a public body meets together, it's open to the public. It's part of the Open Meetings Act. So for them to close the door is violating the state law on Open Meetings Act. That's why I need to talk to somebody, like, why are they having secret meetings? If it's not open to the public, then it is secret.
I'll find out about this, for you, but we're not having a secret meeting.
Well, that's, okay, so then I can go in? Okay, so it's a secret meeting. It's not open to the public. But, well, that's what it is, right? Right, well, who's the administrator that I can talk to about the meeting? Who?
Because that gentleman right there.
Where's there?
Yeah, I don't know if the meeting you're talking about,
Just this first door up here?
you can't go with that meeting.
Right, the door was open when I came in, and I heard there was a meeting going on. That's why I stopped. I was curious, like, what public meeting was happening. Well, then that's a violation of the Open Meetings Act. Okay, who do I do that with? With who? Okay. Hey, you still here? Yeah, the gentleman just said I can file a complaint with somebody here. And he said him, so I don't know who he's referring to when he said him.
Which one are you talking about?
The guy I was talking to, Clarence?
That's Clarence.
Yeah. He told me I can file a complaint right now, and I said with who, and he said with him. So he didn't clarify.
Sir, that's probably have to get back with him.
With who?
Clarence.
Okay. Do you know who I can file a complaint with here?
There's no one listed here that was, receptions right now.
Okay. They can receive a complaint, right?
I don't know if Amy does.
Amy's done it before. What's that? Okay. Yeah, anyone can receive the complaint. I mean, you can receive the complaint. It's really just anybody that can write something down.
Wow. All I can say is that people in the office right now, they're all in meetings right now.
Okay.
And Robbie Keller's in the meeting right now. Well, she's over at this call center right now.
Okay. What about Marty? All right. Do you know when they'll be out of the meeting?
Sir,
Do you know when he'll be out of the meeting?
when they're done.
Okay. Is he in this one down the hall?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we'll just stand by. Thanks. This is a county building next to the courthouse. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, maybe you guys try to find the Zoom channel for the Guilford County Board, Guilford County School Board. Guilford County, North Carolina. Hello. Yeah. What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I had something in my ear. What? You have a fever? Oh. Oh. Are you a medical professional? Oh. Yeah, I only. Okay, yeah, I share my medical information with medical professionals. Yeah. you know how long their meeting's supposed to be? Alright. Oh, do you know if the, public library is open downtown? The big one? Across from the, Children's Museum? Okay. The Children's Museum? It's I'm gonna say it's a couple blocks east and then several blocks north. What, do you know what road runs into the train station? The one that like literally tees into the train station? It's whatever that road is. I forget the name of it, but. All right. I'll check back with Marty and Robin and all them. Clarence, hopefully he said he's gonna reach back out. Well, yeah, the others so far have just done this game, like pointed to each other and like, oh, somebody's gonna get back to you, and nobody has. So. Up in just the county manager and the county clerk's office. Yeah. They're, I mean, and it's for, you know, they're trying to cover for each other because there's like criminal activities that Guilford County personnel have done. And yeah, and so the request is for the evidence. Like they have the evidence, they have the video of these crimes, and so now it's just a criminal conspiracy. They're covering up the evidence. They're not releasing it to the public. So yeah, so we're just trying to get that out. Like, hey, this is what's going on, and people wonder why there's rioting in the streets. Like that because the people that are employed in local, state, federal government are hurting people and then covering for their buddies. You know, yeah. All right, cool. Thanks. Take care. Have a good day. Yeah, you too. All right. So they're in this first room on the right. So I'll try to find. Maybe you guys can get a look in. Let me know if you can see the window. Yeah, there's a window. You guys see anything in the window? All right. How about if I lift you up? How about now? Any luck here? Blind you down. Okay. Oh, let's find out there's another stairs. This is gonna be tricky. Steps. Find out if this one still a wall there. Steps. Wall up. There we go. Alcove. How about here? You guys got anything here? You hear that guy feign concern, like, oh no, county personnel are doing criminal acts. Same? Okay. Yeah. It's like, oh no, my colleagues are doing criminal acts, they're hurting people. Like, yeah, not just your people that work in the county, but people that work in your job. Like, if that's the same guy, if that's the, what do you call it, some kind of security guy in his job. Typing his up. All right. We'll do this. Da 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 da. That feels like a wall. Is that a wall, guys? Yeah. All right. And I'm running into stuff, so maybe here. We got anything on this side? Anything here? Having secret meetings on taxpayer expense school board. I don't know, man. We've lost three months of programming the kids. How are we going to keep them accountable? Blinds are down. Okay, thanks. How are we going to keep them on the programming? We've lost 3 months, 3 consecutive months of brainwashing them. The kids have been out. Can't control them. How are we going to be able to control them, especially when they see that people don't want to be controlled? Hopefully, portrait farmer. Hopefully, but that's the thing though. Like that's you have all these other avenues of distraction, right? It's no longer just the bread and circus, right? You've got TikTok and all this stuff that's like these small little videos, small little things that people can just zone in, zone out, like, you know, a little bit of time at a time, and then before you know it, you lost 2 hours or whatever. Like, and I say that as I'm as I'm streaming on YouTube for like some time, but exposing the enemies of freedom, trying to call for accountability here. Alrighty. Supposedly there's a call center over here. So. Yeah. So we'd like to think that the kids would be learning more about freedom, but maybe they're just playing more video games or watching more TikTok. So, I don't know. Hey, this is a nice air conditioning. Awesome. This is well. If I want that right now. Hello. Trying to find the call center. The call center. Like a Guilford County call center. Oh no. What? Do you know? Oh, go ahead. I'm trying to find, I was told by people at the county building right across the way here that there's a call center in the BBT building. Is this the right building?
Yeah, you're in the right building.
All right. Yeah, there's.
What's the call center do?
I'm not sure. I'm supposed to be talking with Robin Keller. So, yeah. Okay. Do you know what other offices are here?
Yeah, on the second floor.
Oh, is that the only office in here?
There's stuff on the third floor, but I don't know what they're doing up there. That's like GIS, and that's not open to the public.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Hey, no, that's all right. Yeah, if you don't mind, cool. Cool. Whoop. Hello. 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 Am I here? Hello. Hey.
Please, this is staff only, right?
Okay. I'm trying to find the call center.
Call center,
Yeah.
BB&T Bank or registered deeds,
Yeah, they say it's in the BB&T building. Yeah.
BB&T good. Call center, good question. I guess we'll just,
Somebody.
I'll hit the 202 and let's see if we can.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. You work here?
No, man, I'm actually looking for the registered deeds.
Oh, all right. Yeah, the ladies downstairs said that they might know too.
Okay. Right there.
Cool. Thank you. Got it.
You're kind of registered there.
Yes, ma'am.
You just walk right up there. I don't actually work here.
Uh-huh.
That's just walk right up there.
Thank you.
Sure. Okay. Okay, well,
Okay.
I'll be behind you. Y'all work right here?
Okay.
Hi.
All right.
Trying to find the call center.
The call center?
Yeah.
That's down, did they put the call center downstairs? In the basement? I think that's down on the, have to take the elevator down.
Okay.
Is it? It's on, Cindy said the third floor.
Okay.
Okay, it's still on the third floor, but you have to take the elevator.
Okay.
Come this way. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Huh? They what? They have two call centers? Okay. Which call center?
It's where Robin Keller is. Like,
Where Robin Keller is.
that's still by the county. People across the way.
I'm sorry? She's probably on the one on third.
Okay. Cool.
So,
Hey, thanks, man.
Yeah, you welcome.
you're gonna go all the way to the, I need to take you the elevator. I was kinda coming this way anyway. And we're gonna turn right in just a second. And there's a doorway right here, you wanna come in here?
Okay.
And, the elevator buttons were right here, I pressed the up.
Great. Cool.
And you only wanna go up one floor, and we're on 2 right now.
All right. Thank you.
So you wanna go to 3?
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Going up. Where? I didn't. What did you say?
Yeah, right here. 2 steps.
Which way?
Straight ahead.
Okay. Okay, so you're who now?
Yep, Hendricks.
Hendricks?
Yep, they don't have a, appointment for you. Can't come in this building.
Miss Keller's expecting me.
Okay. Did she say she was gonna meet you anywhere?
That's why I'm trying to find her. Her office said she was over here in the
Okay. Well, the only way to get in this building is if you have an appointment to come in.
Well, that's
Registered deed?
Yeah, we've gone in the appointment.
Okay.
We've gone in there.
You have an appointment in there?
Do you suspect I don't?
Do you?
Do you suspect that I don't?
Look, I ain't got time to play.
Nobody's
Do you
playing.
have it or not?
Do you suspect that I do not?
Okay, have a good day.
Okay, you too. Don't kick your dog or beat your wife. So, I guess we stumbled into another secret meeting there in the county building that, they sent, a guy claiming to be security, Guilford County security, to come kick the people out of, because you can't have the people know what's going on behind the county doors. People want to know what's going on. People want to know what these people are doing with the money that they're stealing from the public. How can we hold these tyrants accountable? Find a meeting? Supposed to be an open meeting? What happens? Some thug threatens you. They may be, quote, only a security guard, but the people attacked me in the Guilford County Public Health Department were only security guards. They work for the same company. They work for Guilford County Security. So, part of the same thing. That's why we're here, trying to get the record, the evidence, showing that they attacked a blind man for asking questions about how to get mental health care. Talking to me? I'm trying to find Robin Keller. Okay. I can't sign because I can't see. Robin Keller is expecting me, yeah. Okay. Do you know if Marty's available? Okay. Do you know when they'll be out of the meeting? Do you know who would know?
They would know, but I don't know.
The people in the meeting would know, but nobody out of the meeting would know? Is that what you're saying?
You have an appointment with anybody?
trying to talk with a few people. They're expecting me.
Who was expected?
The people from the clerk's office and the county manager's office. Actually 3, but yeah. Hey, from Missouri. You're tasked to guard the door here. Upholding the Constitution. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. Miss Robin Keller? I was getting close. So somebody directed me to the call center in that building across the street, the BBT building. And yeah, no, the people on the first floor said go to the second floor. I talked to the people on the second floor. They said the call center's on the third floor. So I went to the third floor. Heard people talking, so I waited a minute and went and asked them if that was the call center, and they said no, and that guy was giving me directions to it, and then Mr. Hendricks came up behind me and was like, hey, you need to get out of here. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Well, I think I was getting close. Somebody was directing me to it and then shut down. So you're a fan of the Constitution. Is that all of the Constitution or just parts of it? Yeah? Well, I mean, so do you have issues with any parts of them? I'll give you for instance. For instance, the let's see, the initial, I think the preamble said life, liberty, and property, right? And then it was changed to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? So do you think that one? Yeah, originally it was property. Yeah. So do you think that one has more value than the other, like property or the pursuit of happiness? I don't know. I think people try to find happiness in property, ironically, and usually that backfires. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Another, for instance, would be the 3/5 clause. Are you familiar with that? So, when they were drafting the Constitution, like it's still there. Like you can see in the document, they wrote in that people of color were 3/5 of a person. Yeah. So they went and amended things, right? So then we have the first 10 amendments, right, which is known as the Bill of Rights. And we go to the 10th, for instance. Let's go to the 10th. You familiar with the 10th Amendment? Yeah. So the 10th Amendment is usually you hear, that's actually been coming up a lot recently in the last couple months because of the issue between federal jurisdiction and state jurisdiction, right? So the 10th Amendment really separates and says anything that the federal government has the powers and things to do, that's not covered in the Constitution of the federal government. We're going to relegate to the states. The states have the powers to do things. That's where you have differences in state law and federal law. Right? Marijuana, for instance, is legal in some states, but federally it's still criminalized. Yeah. And so for that, the last two words of the 10th Amendment gets overlooked, right? And that's actually the last three words. It's or the people. Or the people, right? So it's saying, basically what it's saying is the federal government has the power to do certain things, right? And if it's not being done right or not covered all the way, then the states governments have the rights to do things, or the people, or that right goes to the people. Yeah, basically. So, right, meaning the people, it ultimately lies with the people, and that's the most important part of that amendment, and it gets overlooked because the people that are like power, go in positions of government. And they say, no, we want to have the power. The state wants to have the power. The federal government wants to have the power. But the people, no, the people want power, not, want power. And the people that go in and that want power go into elected positions to be empowered. And then they say, no, we need to have more power. The state needs to have more power. Or if they go into federal position, they know the federal government needs to have more power. They go, well, that's what happens constantly. No, that's what's happening. That's what's happening all throughout history. It's happening right now. It's happening right here right in front of us. These people that are in these positions are being protected by you guys instead of having transparency. The First Amendment with freedom of the press for the people to know what's going on with the government is being trampled on right now, and you're an active participant to that. Yeah, that's what the First Amendment is. It's freedom of the press. Yeah, meaning the people have the freedom of the press, right? You're the press. Yeah. Yeah. Just like the Second Amendment, like is right next to that, right? The Second Amendment is for everybody, right? And the other parts of the First Amendment, freedom of religion, it doesn't mean you have to be a clergyman to have freedom of religion, right? For the people. And you don't have to be have a big CNN job and have a big, camera to be press. It's for the people, just like everything else listed in that amendment. Yeah. Well, most people don't even look at it to interpret it. Nope. I mean, you I don't think you could have told me the 10th Amendment until I just mentioned it, right? So that's what I mean. They don't even teach it anymore, right? They didn't teach it when I went to high school. Yeah. They don't teach civics. They don't teach that stuff. Like, they don't want people to know. No. And it's the schoolwork right here. Like, we can ask them. Do you guys teach civics? No, they don't. Why? Because they don't want the people to know. They don't want the kids to know, like, what's going on. No, active civics, like how the government's set up, checks and balances. Yeah. The rights of the people, right? The Bill of Rights. What methods we have to hold elected officials, or even if they're not elected, like you're not elected, but you're public, you work for the public, so public servant, right? So we can hold you accountable. That's dangerous. That's yeah, but you have a moral obligation is higher than your order obligation, correct? So if somebody tells you to do something that you find immoral, your moral compass is your first obligation, right? Yeah, unlawful order. It's your duty to reject it. Yeah, I was in the military, so like we got briefings on that, either like quarterly or annually. Like, sure. Army. Started out infantryman. Well, I did some other things. I did some intelligence work, yeah, but I did some medical stuff too, a little bit of, yeah. So, how about you? Were you in? No? Okay. Yeah. Goodness. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, some. Yeah. It's hard. But that's the thing. Like you're saying, you're just a guy following orders. That's dangerous. I did that in the military. That led me to doing all kinds of horrible things, like killing people that I didn't know. Right? We had an intel packet saying they were a bad guy or whatever, and we vetted. But why? Yeah, we vetted it. Yeah, this guy was guilty of bombing people, right? But who are we? Some people from 8,000 miles away to go out and execute this guy, instead of the local populace handling their own problems. And the other problem is, like, would this guy be bombing people if we weren't there? Most likely not. Like we are the catalyst to him being radicalized. The CIA did a big debrief on that for everybody. It's called blowback. Just Google CIA blowback. It talks about how the military action, the foreign policy of going into these countries, it's open source, yeah, declassified, yeah. blowback. Yeah, meaning instead of, you said thank you for my service. When I ask people, what are you actually saying when you say thank you? Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. See, I think can I try to articulate that in a different way? Because I think the heart of what people are saying when they say this, because I ask people this a lot, and usually they struggle to try to articulate it. And yeah, right, right. But I think it matters like what you're going to serve. Like if I joined a street gang, because the motto of the street gang is we're going to clean up our community and make it free. Mhm. Right. You're right. Right. Exactly. Right. But yeah, yes, exactly. The words have those connotations, but you have to see if the words match the actions, right? If the actions are, I joined the largest gang on the planet, or one of the largest gangs on the planet, and we went to go, the promise was to fight for freedoms of people here, right? That was the promise. And I think what you're trying to say is thank you for that ideal, for fighting for the ideals of freedom, or the ideals of what we think America should stand for, right? Even though it was a bill of goods, like lies that we were, that we bought. And it made people less free because we got the Patriot Act, we got less and less freedoms here, we got more spying from the government on everybody, all this stuff that no, there definitely, in the medical side when we were saving lives and stuff, definitely not. So, and helping, yeah, and helping train people and equip them to defend themselves and fight off the Taliban themselves. And so those things were positive. But again, would there be a Taliban presence there if we weren't there, right? So, yeah, right. Now counter position, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. But so I think the ideal is like the heart of being willing to sacrifice for the ideal, freedom and life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, right? But then you have to take or property, right? Does that actually match the actions? And my argument is no. And it's the CIA's position too. Like it's made us less free. Like if the goal is to make us more free, like it's made us less free. Oh goodness, it's been declassified for a number of years, so it's easy to find. You know what? I'll give you a card, and if you want to shoot me an email, I can email it to you. You can. Yeah. Yeah, definitely after 9/11. Yeah. No, I think it's post 9/11. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. But the danger of just your statement of, well, I'm just a guy following orders here. Like when I was asking, like, well, do you have a task of guarding this room, guarding this door? Like, were you told specifics? So. Mhm. Right. If it goes against your moral compass, right? And you said that you like the Constitution. So do you like the freedom of the press? Okay. Yeah. Well, that guy was wheeling something through. Hmm. I don't see it. That's all right. Yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing, like that if you're for freedom of the press, like I'm here, I had no idea there was a meeting going on. I heard a meeting was going on, and so I was like, well, I'm a member of the press. I have a lot of the content on our channel is actually meetings, is public meetings, and because people need to know what's going on. Yeah, but this right happening now is criminal, like, and you're complicit in it, and well, you're here talking, like I'm trying to draw you attention to no, it's your own moral compass, right? Does everybody? I think so. Yeah. It may be some may be different than others, but um, yeah. Hmm? Hmm. Yeah. So we can get in the weeds and nitpick. I mean, there's going to be like these talking about arguments. Oh no, I'm getting to the broad point with it. Like right. But getting in the minutia and the weeds, you're gonna have discrepancies and and stuff. That's what they're dealing with right now. Is trying to figure out minutia, like arguing out the fine points of things. But that's what happens in every meeting, because generally they all agree on most of the stuff, right? Generally, all of humanity is going to agree on some very simple, broad points for morality, which is basically the golden rule, right? Don't do unto others as you have them do unto you, right? And that's basically it. Like, if you don't want somebody to do what you're doing, like to you, then don't do it, right? If you believe, yeah, that's the government's philosophy. Yeah. Hmm? Not necessarily, because if they're arguing over the minutia, yeah. It's simple. It's simple, like aggression, right? Basically, the non-aggression principle. Like, nobody has the right to initiate unjust force against another. You know. So I can make the claim that as I entered a door that was open, a public door, that somebody came in and shut a door in my face. That's an act of aggression. Well, this goes back to words being defined, and right, and that takes it out of subjectivity. Aggression has as a definition. Mm-hmm. No, because you're talking about a deconstruction. There's a French philosopher by the name of Derrida, and he coined the idea of deconstruction. Basically, what you're talking about is words don't have meaning, and the meaning of the word is on the listener to interpret it, not the speaker. Like, you can say whatever you want, and I say, oh, he just said pink elephants. And I'm like, well, no, that's not what you said. You're talking about subjectivity and morality, right? So that's deconstruction. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Derrida. Yeah. Yeah, to determine the meaning, right? Which is what it sounds like you're talking about with subjective morality. So there's going to be some differences in the minutia in subjectivity and morality, right? And those things, like, you still have to communicate. We still have to agree on aggression. What does the word aggression mean? And we define it and have, like, look at a dictionary, right? To have communication. Well, see right now you're using a deconstructive argument, which means that it's a non-argument. The conversation goes to poof. Right. But it's not necessarily on belief. It's on understanding, like, of a term. And if you can't agree on simple terms for language, then is the person trying to communicate in an open fashion, or are they trying to derail the conversation? So you said you believe in freedom of the press. Well, that's good. Then if you, hopefully you can take some time and digest some stuff and think about it, and maybe decide to. What was that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That some not sit down, but like you can go in, they can order and take it out. Yeah. I think some sit downs are opening up. Yeah. We sat down at a place in High Point the other day. So. Just walking distance. Oh, I don't know. I haven't. Yeah. I got dropped off. Yeah. Yeah, there's a place open. Yeah. I know there's well, I don't know what's open now. I don't know what businesses have survived this nonsense. So. Yeah. Yeah. And then, but there's like an interesting extra incentive. I don't know if you considered like what's the whole riot thing. What's going on since this weekend here? Not just locally, but nationally. Yeah. So for like small business owners, or any business owner, it doesn't have to be small. Like if they've taken a big financial hit and they're like, man, I don't know if I can make the business survive. I don't know the timeline of what it's going to take to rebuild or come back. There's an incentive there to tell somebody, hey, make sure you burn mine down too. So I can get that insurance claim. No. Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think it's a lot, but I definitely think that some people see that opening and like, ooh, yeah, I can get money off the insurance because I can't get money through business because business is shut down. Yeah. Especially if they got a full inventory. Think of a new business that just opened up prior to the shutdown, right? They spent all this money, all this capital for getting the space, setting it up, cleaning it up, whatever they had to fix inside, and then stocking it, full inventory, right? And they got free, like, just sitting there, can't move any merchandise. Especially if it's like perishable. Yeah. You got a restaurant, yeah. No, that's a tempting proposition for people. Like, well. Yeah. Well, that's really, it's easy for people to just take the talking head narrative from mainstream media and be like, oh yeah, it's because of this reason, it's because of systemic racism. Like, well, okay, nobody's saying there isn't racism in the system, but we're saying, is that the reason for everything that's going on? No, obviously not. You don't have a simple answer for a complex problem. Like, everybody I meet on a daily basis is racist. Yeah. And that's kind of what it's being. Well, do you know the history of law enforcement? Like where law enforcement started? No, England. Well, there's a version of it, yeah, like the Bobbies, yeah. Yeah. But like in America. Oh, mm-hmm. It's sad. You want to chase the white rabbit, down the hole. Like, so they initially spun up to chase down slaves and classes. Yeah, separate the classes, like up in the Northeast. So what time frame are we talking? 1800s. Yeah. Early 1800s. It has to be because the Civil War ended in 1865. So probably early 1800s or so. Yeah. And they separated classes and chased them. Yeah, and actually creating a enforcing a class system. It would have been federal. Yeah, it would have been. No, it's actually local. It was local. Yeah, localized, and people adopted the same thing. Before that, you had kind of. You had the idea of like the sheriffs, which is this old idea, like hundreds and hundreds of years old, of having a sheriff. Is that what they were being called then? No, I don't know. Right. I don't know if they were the.
name.
Yeah, I think it was the police, like, once the police were formed, not the sheriff's, because the sheriff's department were, you know, depending on where you were, sometimes they upheld law and order, sometimes they just upheld the orders of edicts of the king, you know, or the lord, or,
Yeah, I was gonna say, the sheriff's, you know,
yeah, you know, Sheriff Nottingham, right, yeah. Yeah. No, but the police, like, the whole idea was to, you know, punish the slaves, bring the slaves back to the,
like if they had run away with it.
what's that?
Like
If they ran away, yeah, bring them back, yeah.
So it's almost like what we would call today, like a, what do you call it?
Bounty hunter,
Bail
like,
bondsman guys, like, type thing.
what was it?
Like a bail bondsman?
Yeah, like a bounty hunter kind of thing, yeah. Right, yeah, but then when slavery was abolished, which is, it's fully not abolished, it's another constitutional problem. So look at the 13th Amendment. Yeah, slavery is still legal in the United States. Dude, 13th Amendment. You can Google the 13th Amendment. It says that it's abolished, and there's an exception right there in the, except for punitive action.
Except for what?
For punitive. Yeah, meaning if for punishment, right?
So maybe that's interpreted like a soldier going to Leavenworth breaking big rocks in the river.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So it could be argued that he goes from being a soldier to an inmate to a slave.
Yes.
Is that?
Yep.
Am I?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I can see that can learn stuff.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you know, in these prisons where they have them making, you know, license plates or whatever for nothing, you know, they're paid piddly nothing, right? So they have indentured servitude, so,
They still do that?
yeah, fixing bikes, all kinds of stuff, yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's slave labor, yeah. And so you look at the numbers, like, who's predominantly incarcerated, right? And there's a disparity in color, there's these things, like, but we're jumping ahead in the timeline, so I wanted to point out the 13th Amendment, because there's an exception clause, but
Please go back to that.
But so
I've never seen that.
so then they didn't just bring the slaves back to the, you know, to be beaten and then go back to work, right? But once you had the abolishment, the police really started to grow because they wanted, these communities wanted protection from these scary individuals that are now roaming the streets, right? Because
Is that the police? Who's the scary individual?
the slaves, right?
They're not running the streets anymore. Oh, after the abolition.
Right. They're free to go and try to make a living, try to make a life for themselves, try to find a place to live, right?
People were fearful.
Yeah, because they thought that they were gonna, you know, rise up and overthrow the
Which was, I mean,
people in power.
history is telling us it was not the case.
So then you have Jim Crow laws and things that were specifically targeting the black community, which was enforced by the police, and it's again, and still like this, though the racism thing is deep rooted in the origins of the police. So it's really hard to root it out when that was the inception, was targeting the people of color that were enslaved. But then it's kind of morphed, not so much just the people of color, it's the same premise of keeping with slave labor, you know, criminalizing people, giving them a record, so then they become,
It's harder and harder, you can't come out from under.
yeah, exactly, you get chewed up by the system, and then you get thrown in, and you come out, like I talked to a guy that was a fellow Army vet, infantryman too, and he came out of doing some hard time because he had a weapon, he had a gun, and he had some felony from his past, but he just had a 22. 22s, you're not going to go out and cause harm with a 22. That's self-defense, like, and he didn't do any, yeah, exactly. He wasn't doing anything to anybody, you know. He was targeted by the cops, because they said he swerved on the road. So, and then, guess what? You got a gun, now you're going to prison for a long time. But this is what the system is, you know.
So, he had a felony, was that, obviously it was after his military.
Yeah.
But he done his thing.
Oh, yeah, he's good, yeah.
He died at 22.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's ongoing. So before I came here, I was at the police department checking on complaints that we submitted months ago and records requests. I'm here following up on records requests.
To the,
They've got two different instances, but the one at the police department, the professional standards division, basically the IA over there, internal investigation guys, they came down. we submitted those complaints anonymously. And he comes down and has a name that he's trying to address to me, and he says, I got this name on this complaint. I'm like, oh, really? Like, who put that there?
What do you mean?
They added a first and last name on the complaint that was submitted anonymously. We submitted an anonymous complaint to them, and these guys were the guys who were supposed to follow up and see, okay,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
yeah, some officers did some stuff, you know, violated some rights, violated some policies. We put in a complaint about it. They investigated it. They took the complaint anonymously, but then they added a name to it, and now they're trying to say that that name is me. And not only that, they added a home address to it, or a street address. Yeah, and so I'm like, wait a minute, who added this stuff? I didn't give you that. And, oh, okay, aren't you the professional standards? Okay, who's your boss? Because you just violated, you know, privacy, you violated anonymity, you violated your own policy, correct? And he's like, yeah, you probably need to go get your lieutenant. Yeah. Yeah.
Just for education.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to, if you, cause I've never done it, I've never submitted it.
Yeah,
So if you submit something anonymously,
yeah,
how do they know how to get it to you back?
just like I gave you a card,
Oh, they can submit it to the,
email or phone.
website.
Yeah, yeah. They can also have it
So you
on,
never did get it?
yeah, I don't,
Even today, you didn't?
well, he had it, but in physical form, and I was like, well, that's not gonna help me, but can you email it to me? So the lieutenant came down, and he's like, yeah, I'll email it to you. He basically said that they substantiated the claim that we made, that they did find that their guys,
So he is taking it.
yeah, he said that their guys were in the wrong, that what we complained about was valid, but that was it. Like, well, what was the,
What's the end result?
yeah, what did you guys do about it? Did you change the policy? Were these guys disciplined? Like, how do you make sure that these guys don't do this again, or other guys don't do it? And he's like, I don't know.
I mean, if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Yeah, so, but the irony there was that their professional standards guys came down breaking their professional standards, like, from go, first things out of their mouth. And I'm like, guys, like, this is not instill any confidence in the public that you guys can do your job. Like, what, what is going on here?
I don't know much about
Greensboro?
is professional standards, what?
It's like their internal investigation.
That's what I
Yeah,
say, that one,
yeah,
I think, all right.
yeah, yeah.
Do they do all citizen complaints against law enforcement and then internal?
Yeah.
So they're tracking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Supposed to,
well, in theory, yeah.
right?
That's it.
But that's the problem. Like, the guy that's supposed to be doing that violated rights and privacy and their own policy. Like, so, like, what? You know what I mean? It's clear retaliation because we expose what's going on behind these closed doors.
So then when you talk to your lieutenant,
Mhm.
you feel like you got your word?
I mean, he listened. He definitely did not have the attitude that the sergeant had, or his buddies, because there's two of them, and they were covering for each other. And so I asked the lieutenant, like, how many guys do you assign to a case? Maybe there's a different guy, put a name on there. He's like, oh, it's one guy. I'm like, okay, so it's this Bateman guy. He's like, well, I don't know. I'm like, well, you just said you, right? It's just simple deductive reasoning. Like, come on. He's like, the answer is I need to investigate it. I'm like, really? Like, you just investigated it. you just know who's assigned to the case. That guy. Who put a name on this case file? Well, the guy that's assigned to the case is a pretty obvious answer. And
I mean, you obviously try to touch it with me, so.
yeah.
Did you chat about who hurt the play?
I don't know. I mean, there's no justice there, like, so, you know. They won't let people with disabilities go in. Yeah. I mean, you're assigned to security, you might get assigned over there, so you might want to know that. Like, even though it's against federal law, they discriminate against the disabled. And that's one of the reasons, well, that's actually the reason I'm here in this building. I'm trying to get the record of the video showing that they attacked a disabled person, like the people from your department, from Guilford Security. Yeah. You might want to find another place, man. You got guys that attack disabled people in your ranks. And there's a video of it that they've been hiding for months, so we're trying to get it.
But you're trying to get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put them in a hospital, brain damage. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you're wrapped up in this. criminal conspiracy. Yeah, but if you're just following orders, like to block orders to people asking questions for releasing the public record, then.
Have you run into, trying to get say, an appointment and then turn away from getting an appointment? Like, has it been impossible to access?
Yeah, absolutely. It's trying to get here with them. Like I called last 2 days in a row, a few times, and they're like, oh yeah, we're tracking this, and so-and-so's gonna get to you today, and then the day ends, and there's nothing. Yeah, and this has been going on for months.
Oh, it's not recent?
Oh no, like each time I call and email, it's the same thing. Oh, we just have to blur the faces of other people, and we'll get right back. Like, cool, that takes 10 minutes. Like, you know?
Yeah.
I do media. I do videos. My wife does editing. It takes her no time to go click. Okay, these are blurred. This is done. Like, we know what's going on. Like.
There's all kinds of software, right?
Oh yeah. Amazing stuff out there. I know a handful of blind people that run YouTube channels, and some of them do their own editing. I don't even know how they do that. There's all kinds of crazy programs that they got running to do that. But
They can edit their own stuff.
yeah.
Well, I guess if they type in the parameters.
Yeah, there's different programs that do all kinds of stuff that read everything to you in all auditory cues, and it's just.
I got a good friend that's blind. He can barely tell if the sun's up, and everything. Some of the stuff he's got, the technology that he got to help him is 8 years away from what it was just
Oh yeah.
a few years ago.
How old is he roughly?
He is mid-20s.
Okay. So that's a lot of guys with the VA system are old, like old, like in 70s, 80s, 90s. Yeah. So they struggle adapting to all this new tech. So.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
You can set it down at a piano and name a song.
Yeah.
And if you don't know the name of the song, so it goes,
Yeah.
It's like, is it this one?
Your friend does that?
Yeah.
That's cool. I know about that guy. He's got severe autism, and he does that. And I think he's got some blindness too. If I'm not mistaken. Huh?
He plays the piano?
Yeah. He's a famous guy. I think I forget what his name is, but it's super inspiring. That guy, I mean, he is genius. There's no exaggeration. Like he's genius level. Like he does what you're saying, but then he'll take that and he'll take recommendations from the crowd for a different key.
Yeah, but visual autistic doesn't mean you're not smart.
What's that? Oh, there's different. The spectrum is broad, so yeah, there's different.
They have a time to communicate.
Yeah. Hey. Do you know Marty Lawing?
Yes.
Yeah? All right. I'm trying to just get him to let me know what the status of this stuff is.
Yeah. He is the county...
County manager? Yeah. No, but that guy, I have to find it. If you email me, I'll find it and I'll email it to you. But that guy's amazing. He takes the recommendations for songs, and then he takes a key, and then he's like, okay, what genre would you like? What style? So I'll even change the style of the song to a different style and a different key.
That's an autistic guy?
Yeah.
I never seen this guy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Did I break my camera? These things run so hot.
What?
These cameras run really hot.
It's hot, like heat?
Temperature, yeah.
He's pretty good over there.
Not right now. Usually I'm pretty quick.
Because the battery's in?
Yeah, I just replaced the battery. Should just slide in. It's not good. Come on. So you sound like you recognize the name of the YouTube channel.
Yeah, when you give me a call.
Right. When you, yeah.
Nothing bad, bro. Nothing bad.
Okay. You haven't been briefed? I mean, it's been a few months. When did you start working?
Just a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
So when you're talking about like a PDN, I don't know what you're talking about. Honestly, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Well.
So, let me see this. How long does the battery last?
These batteries run, if it's continuous, if you're lucky, like 45 minutes. Yeah.
45.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of those.
Yeah. What's that?
You can hear it.
Yeah. I've got backups for the phone too, which I need to plug in because it's slow. So are they out, or are they just, what are they doing? Alright. I need my big guy. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. It's the wrong cord. That's the right cord. Sound like a couple ladies. What did you do before this? Your dad? Yeah. It's one of the greatest things in the world. Oh yeah. 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 They're pretty cool, pretty incredible. All right. Come on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Yeah. I think I might have to hit a button on this thing. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. You direct me to it. I'll fill it up. I do need to fill it up. It's not like a typical. Yeah. 'Cause I can usually hear the little compressor thing on the. Mm-hmm. Alright, cool. Wrong side. Okay. Is it one of those ones that has hot and cold, or is it just a?
It's hot, cold, yeah. I don't know what, there's 3 buttons. I don't know what's the.
In case you want to do your coffee, or
Huh?
in case you want to make like an instant coffee or a cocoa or something. I agree. I agree. Right. Okay, this guy. All right. There's the spigot like dead center. All right. Hey, this one? This one. All right, cool. Nice. Yeah, that's good. I made an arrest in the PG earlier. Yeah, I made an arrest in the police department. I didn't know what to do it. Oh, that's too much. Yeah, it has a filter in it, so it doesn't matter where I get it, it'll filter it out. That big, yeah, that big thing on the bottom of it.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what's it filter out? You're not gonna drink swamp water.
This one, no. I do have another one. This is actually my wife's. Mine is a little bit bigger filter, and I can filter swamp water with that. Yeah.
So it's just like a charcoal filter.
This is what they call their urban filter. I think it's an Nalgene bottle. And little product placement. Not sponsored, but what's that? Yeah, you can get them. I think that one's called the Epic water bottle as a filter. But it's the urban one. Hey, how's it going?
You hear those stories, you hear those pictures of floating plastic
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing with it's like a double-edged sword with this age of the internet, right? We have like you said, people got to believe in something. Well, we have this big epistemological crisis. What's that? Epistemological? So epistemology is basically how you know what you know. Like, you know, yeah. So it's like you said, well, who wrote the dictionary? It's a valid point. Like, who put that in there, right? At some point, we have to have commonality. Yeah, sure. At some point, we have to have some commonality, or we can't communicate at all, right? So we have to agree on something. But, you know, how do I know that the Earth is round? Well, do I know that the Earth is round? Who told me that, right? There's the whole flat Earth thing, right? and if you listen to them, like, man, some of those, yeah, 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 yeah. Some people just still believe it. There's a whole movement. Yeah, there's a whole movement of flat earthers right now. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I'm not kidding you. No. You look it up on YouTube. Like, look up flat Earth theories, and you're gonna have. that one is just. So you're gonna scratch your head. Like, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, be like, that makes sense. Like, one of the arguments for because they've had debates like between flat earthers and scientists and stuff. It's really funny. Like, so they're like, they challenge the scientists, prove gravity, and they're like, okay, scientist picks up a pencil, drops it, gravity. And then they say, can you explain that? It's like, yeah, buoyancy. And they say buoyancy is their argument, the flat Earth argument. It's like it's displacement of things that have more mass or density. It's really density, right? Exactly. The pencil has more density than the air around it. Buoyancy. And then the scientists are like, well, yeah, but also gravity. And it's like, okay, but so again, if I can explain it with mine, why do I need yours? And they're like, well, good point. So things like that, it's like, well, it's interesting to kind of to go into, but there's more important things I think to spend your time researching. Yeah. What's that? I know. No. Yeah. Well, I think the safe bet is to say I don't know. Like, and that's what I don't know. I don't know, isn't it? I don't know isn't a theory. It's yeah. I mean, it's a factual statement. Like, I don't know. It's a truthful statement. You know. I've never observed the Earth from orbit. I've never orbited the Earth. I don't. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. But so that I'm not making any of those claims. I mean, I don't know. I've heard arguments on both sides that I'm just like, well, I used to believe in a round Earth, like, but yeah. But when you start challenging like the narrative that we've been taught, like and everything, like, where are the facts? What are the things where we have enough credible sources or sources from different vantage points saying the same things? Like, that has more likelihood of being true, right, than not. And to use that kind of metric system versus the system that people usually use for validating their beliefs. Like, if you didn't give me a belief, I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to ask you, like, how you get something that you believe in. Yeah, something. What? Yeah, just something you believe in. All right. So one. We'll just say that somebody believes the Earth revolves around the sun. Okay. And rotates around the sun. Yeah. So we'll take that as a belief, right? And we ask, so we ask, how did you come to that belief? Right. Did you? Okay. So you were taught in school. Now. I've never. Right. I've never been to orbit, saw the sun at a distance. Sure. Right. Okay, so give me a relative, like, guesstimate percentage-wise. How strong do you believe that to be true? Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Say 100%? Okay. So, but you're getting that one total 100% just from one source of schooling. Yeah. Okay. So that's one way of doing it. When there's a guy that does street epistemology on YouTube. He's really great. He talks to people. He sits down, about their beliefs. And sometimes they say, well, I get 30% from my pastor said this, 30% from my mama said this, and then, 40% from my peers in school, right? And so, okay, so you added those percentages up to say you're 100% sure, right? So that's where he's getting at. And it's like, well, he makes this great analogy of when do you know it's 100% chance of rain? When you walk outside and it's raining. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. So.
And I don't have any friends that are meteorologists.
Right. No, but you take that and you say, okay, so if I turn on channel 2 and it says 50%, I turn on channel 8 and it says 50%, do I get 100% chance of rain?
No, because you added two different. Yeah.
Right. You're getting two different sources, and they may not be credible, right? Or maybe giving you the same thing, but they're just coming from different sides. So you actually have two sources, or you have to have one source, right? And so.
Two sources with the same information.
Right. So, but if they're getting it from the same root source, then it's really just two people speaking the same source, right? So that's the thing with epistemology, is like trying to track where you got the information. Like, how do you know what you know? Yeah, and yeah, you really start going down rabbit holes when you start evaluating what you believe. And oh yeah. I mean, I did biblical studies. I have a whole degree in it, and yeah, and so it's you start going down the rabbit hole into. Yeah, sure. I've after. Yeah. I was tired of sick and tired of being a source of pain and destruction in the world and to other people, and wanted to try to help bring healing and wholeness. And
It's kind of triggered on the military.
Definitely. Yeah.
So then, what did you do with the knowledge that you gained? Did you just build on it? You used it as a foundation, or not? Maybe not a foundation.
I already had a pretty good foundation. I just, definitely kind of dug under the foundation to find out what was that built on, kind of. Yeah. Well, that investigated really what was the foundation laid on. Didn't really dig under it, No, you're fine. Oh yeah.
So you could actually look at the origin of the text.
Yeah, and it's neat now with the technology. Like you can go to sites that actually have the Greek, and so if you want to check whatever version of the Bible you're using, you can line it up to the Greek and have a direct Greek to English translation to find out, see how they translated it for that version versus, which is where some of the things I started to find things that I didn't like, were a lot of things about particular denominations having paying lots of money to have somebody translate the Bible to back certain doctrine and policy that they have in their denomination. Yeah, and not actually what the Greek says, not actually what the original.
Would you tell me what translation that is?
Pick one. It's like throwing a dart at a word. Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. So you're saying,
it's easier to give you ones that are closer, and that's it. So NASB would be probably pretty close to Greek English translation. Yeah.
NASB.
Yeah. Very good question. Yeah, I think it's New American, maybe. Yeah. I think it's what the A stands for, yeah. See, there's already labeled the dogmas on it. I know. It's crazy. A couple hundred years, right? Well, I mean, and Yeah, I know, it's crazy. What's another one? ESV is another one. English Standard Version. Yeah. Those two are pretty close, Greek, but they don't. I mean, they don't. It's not direct, so that's the problem. Then the NASB, I'm not sure. I don't remember. Oh no, they're both of those are probably relatively probably 20 years. Yeah. But they didn't. But so they didn't translate the King James from the Greek. They translated it from Latin, which is already a dead language. Yeah. Talking about, if you want to talk about government control, you want to talk about like the pillars of controlling humanity and things that I was waking up to as being, you know, part of that system in the government and in the military. That's a really good. That's what I started digging into that in the religion side. I'm like, oh man, I'm running into the same stuff here, because the Vatican, the Roman Catholic Church, like they deleted it, and they didn't just have it translated in Latin. They eliminated any version that wasn't Latin. Yeah, so there was no Bible, there's no scripture in any version other than Latin for a very long time, for hundreds of years, yeah. And so they were the keepers of the sacred knowledge, right? And so you had to go and listen to a priest and speak. Right. So then you run into the Quakers and George Fox, and this guy went around England like challenging priests, like, because he actually studied it and studied, you know. No, I think they found Greek, whatever, I forget what they did, but George Fox was crazy. But yeah, Quakers, the founder of the Quakers, like, that guy was crazy, like, crazy good as far as like going out and challenging them to oration. I don't think so. Like, I think his, definitely not, because it was so much about control, like taxation, like, you know, they call it tithe and they make it taxation, but yeah, but so is in Latin, so they can control it. And then you have, you know, the printing press. You have, goodness, Martin Luther, right? Yeah, they did that, but you have Martin Luther saying, hey, what you guys are doing, what the church is doing is all messed up, and we need a better version, like better translation of this, because this has all been diluted down into what you guys want to say to control people, because the papacy, the Pope, is a ruler. Like he rules the Vatican, it's the city, it's the state, right? And then monarchs wanted, you know, the blessing of the Pope, and so it very much had political power for a long time. Mhm. Yeah. No, he was. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. No, it didn't. It did not. He did translation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a few in his era that started translating, and they're getting less and less diluted. But then you have this Reformation, right? You have the Protestant movement, and what is Protestant? What's the root word in Protestant? Protest. Yeah, right. Just like this is so funny. Like, you know, you have most Americans, if they claim to be Christian, I think that the numbers are more, Protestant than Catholic, right? And then America, like the foundation of America is, I think the numbers bear that out, in the statistics, No, just America, just the United States, okay, we have to double check that. Somebody fact check it. But. Yeah. Oh, there might be big cathedrals, but that doesn't mean that they have a following. Yeah, exactly. So you see, I mean, you just go out and there's churches every corner out here, right? So. Mm. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I think the numbers bear that out, I think. But people forget the roots. Like, it means protest, right? It means to stand up against the official narrative and find out for yourself directly from the source what it says. And in America, you have the same thing. The whole founding of this nation was on the same premise of rebelling against the official edicts of the king, and looting, actually, and burning, like, because you have the Boston Tea Party, right? Yeah. So I'm not that I'm for stealing or destruction of property, but you just look at history.
The people that suffer looting is like small business.
Mm.
Let's take the whole blow my mind. Out about
insurance. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's done on the corner. Nobody did anything. You know, and all of a sudden he comes in and that thing is windows blow out.
Yeah.
So the people out there, that's my thing. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Why are we breaking some guy's stuff that he's working on?
Yeah. Well, he said the history. So there's a history of you look at the civil rights movement, and the focus typically starts with whoever the aggressors are, right? Taking your message to the aggressors, right? The police and the sheriff's department and the city manager or the mayor, right? And saying, hey, you guys need to stop doing this. What you're doing is wrong, right? And they don't listen. It's like, okay, so you try to have a meeting, have an appointment, like we're trying to do now. It's just like hold them accountable. They don't want to do that. So then you have a protest. You get a lot of people saying, hey, stop doing this. You're doing this wrong. They don't want to hear you. They still not change anything. They're still doing business as usual. Okay, now what? Then historically what they did was, okay, well, we need to turn around and look down Main Street and boycott businesses. We need to like put chains on doors. We need to block people from going in. Which they don't.
Which you don't have to do right now because they're not open anyway.
Right. Yeah. So don't frequent these businesses. Like let the business owners, the local business owners that are filling the coffers of the council people and the mayor, right? They're lobbying just at the local level, just like they do at the federal level, saying, hey, this is what I want you to do. Make rules and regulations that benefit me, right? So the strategy was to boycott those local businesses. And when they did that, then they got the pressure from the local business owner telling the mayor, hey, we need to capitulate. We need to listen to what the voice is, and we listen to what they're saying. And then they got changed. So there's a historical context for that, even just in the last 60, 70 years. Hey, Marty?
I did not see Mr. Morgan.
Yeah, Mr. Marty Long?
Yeah.
Hi, I've been trying to get a hold of you guys about a records request I put in months ago, trying to figure out the status of that.
Status is, one of the pieces was to modify
It's like blur faces,
video,
right?
right.
Yeah.
Of course, that's not our primary business.
Okay.
So they're still working on that. And how many other requests did you have?
There were several, but that one's the main one.
Okay.
And that's in like 4 months.
That's the main
So,
one you're looking for.
yeah, and so the concern now is that the county is violating the Open Records Act, the state law on open records.
We're not doing it intentionally.
Okay.
We've got quite a few things going on.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean, this is part of that because this is transparency. This is also the video footage shows Guilford County personnel attacking a disabled person, right? So this is part of what the streets are on fire about because of the injustices at the hands of the local government. So I think this would go a long way. Say, here's a video, being transparent and releasing the records that you guys have.
But I got your contact info.
Yeah.
Give me a name that you're dealing with, and I will check into it personally.
Robin Keller's been emailing me about it. Yeah.
You and I have been talking. I think we have some pretty good discussion.
Yeah.
If I tell you, then I'm going to go talk to Ms. Robin about it.
Yeah.
I mean, will you believe me? You have no reason to believe me, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to go talk to Ms. Robin about it.
Yeah. I mean, I've been getting the same. That's the thing. I've been getting the same answer from your staff.
Have we met before?
I don't think so. Yeah.
If I tell you a
I'd like to trust you, but yeah.
if I tell you
Yeah.
this stuff, you can check on this link for again.
All right.
Give me
Yeah.
a chance to go find out where Ms. Robin is.
Okay.
And I will today. I will talk to Ms. Robin.
All right. I know Clarence said the same thing. He said he was trying to get back to me. So, yeah.
He did, but he had another meeting.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't think I have anything after this.
Yeah.
My tasking now is to go find Ms. Robin.
All right. Well, it's been 4 months, and every time I try to get something from you guys, somebody's on it. That's the answer I keep getting is just delay. I hear you.
But if I tell you I'm going to go today and talk to her, I'm going to go talk to her. Now, will
Yeah.
you get it today? I don't know about
Yeah. And I'm not sure if this may be the first time that we've met. So.
Yeah, I think it's
All right.
But we do, when we say we have a lot going on, things keep coming up.
No, I hear you.
With the coronavirus, that's really set us back.
Yeah.
We had call centers going, and now we've got a call center and an application review for a small business grant program.
Right.
So Robin's heading up the call center now, so
Right.
it's not like we're trying to avoid you. But you're not the only one, unfortunately, that
Yeah.
we've backlogged on.
Yeah, I know. But if the question is, like, as a journalist, like, if the item or the video in question would show the county in a really good light, would it have taken 4 months to release? That, you know, these are the questions that we have to ask. I know you're probably not going to answer that because it's kind of a tricky question, but.
I would say, that doesn't impact it. I mean, we get, it's kind of on the same speed, it's just having enough bodies to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, I know it takes my wife like 10 minutes to blur out faces on videos, so I don't know why. It's, you know, I mentioned it to him, so there's easy stuff for people to do that.
Yeah, there's no kind of editing, but your wife, she said she does your editing.
Mhm.
Because she has that stuff. I don't know if it's wrong with having it, but
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to
I know.
you. I promise.
I know. I hear you.
Okay?
Yeah. Appreciate it, Marty. Thanks for a couple minutes.
Thanks for the food for thought.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. What's your name again?
Hager.
Haggard. All right. Yeah. I know we got to start it off on a little rough start.
But I think we ended up better, bro.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So maybe after these restaurants open up or something, we'll have lunch.
Absolutely. I will treat you to lunch or
It's gonna be on me, brother.
no. Okay. All right. Either way.
I promise you.
Well, I appreciate chatting with you.
Good day. I have no problem, bro.
All right. All right. Thank you.
If I tell you that, it's going to happen.
Okay.
I'm gonna talk to her today, and I'm gonna take it as a test.
All right. Appreciate that. Thanks. Bye. All right. Well, that took a while, people. That took a while. So thank you for hanging out. If you're hanging out, if you're popping in and out. Started out at the police department, trying to get accountability there. The professional standards guys came down, like we were following up on a complaint, and anonymous complaint. We submitted anonymously, right? And the first thing they did was violate professional standards by trying to address a name to the complainant. Anyway, we addressed that with their lieutenant. He's going to try to look into that and correct that. And they did say that the complaint we put in was substantiated, that they did find evidence to back that. And okay, so what? What did you guys do? So that was the police department. Then we came over here to the county building, try to get the record of them attacking me in the health department in High Point, which they still haven't released. And we finally got a face-to-face with Marty Lawing, who's the county manager here, who has, he's the guy who signs his name. Sorry, truck. He's the guy who signs his name to the statements, to the forms that go to the federal government that say that Guilford County is in compliance with federal laws. Well, clearly they're not in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. So he's been put on notice that he is under investigation, that we are investigating him directly and his office and the county and his defrauding of the government, fraud, waste, and abuse of Guilford County, defrauding federal government, which means that they're on the hook for millions and millions of dollars once this investigation is complete. So, yeah, there we go. We finally got a face-to-face with him. Talked to the security guard that was blocking the public from going to a meeting with the school board, the Guilford County School Board. They're having secret meetings with the county manager and not allowing the public access to that meeting. So, yeah. We finally got that. He said basically what I knew he was going to say. Oh, yeah, we're being busy. Someone's going to get into it. But then the security guard, I don't know, he seemed genuine. So. And we talked to Clarence briefly. So maybe we'll get some records. Maybe we'll get the video. All right, so we're downtown Greensboro. I'm going to cut this. I've been on for a while. Thank you guys for hanging out. Listening to me chat with Hager, security guy there. His demeanor, 180 degrees, way different than the other guy, Dixon or whatever it was at the other building. So. All right, this is a federal courthouse on my right. Another tyrannical entity. But I'm gonna go get some lunch, and I'll catch you guys later. We still have a VA video that Mr. Justice is working on, so that should be dropping soon, either today or tomorrow, hopefully. All right. Catch you guys. Let me find this finish button. There we go.